So, Adam Schefter, the guy who hates us more than anything in life itself. He really does. He absolutely despises us, and it's always comical listening to him because he always finds a way to talk very negative about us. Nonetheless, he posed this issue on Get Up, and it's 5 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. And what's so funny about this whole situation is, number one, these network TV shows, whether it's Get Up or whether it's FS1 or whatever network you watch, they have to say crazy delusional takes like this because the fact their shows are really just not surviving anymore. You have YouTubers like Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, who can deliver the news and can really do it in a very successful way where people enjoy, they love it, they're entertained by it. And I'm just, putting out 2 people there. Urinating Tree is a good example of it. 5 Point Vids. Like, there's so many really good YouTubers nowadays that these NFL network shows or, any network shows, they're kind of starving for any type of viewership and any type of, interaction to make money.
You talked about how the Buffalo Bills have a superstar quarterback, Josh Allen. No one debates it. You talk about how the Patriots seem to have an emerging superstar quarterback in Drake May. Certainly seems like it's going that way. Yeah. And then you said the Jets, with their 5 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts, are going to get their next quarterback, and that's something the league has to worry about. I can tell you right now that if I showed you my phone, all of the Jets little group text chats that I'm on, all my Jet fan friends, including Alan Hahn on the radio in New York, said to me the other day, the quarterback they want is Joe Burrow. That they think, these delusional Jet fan friends of mine believe that with all these picks, they're going to pry Joe Burrow out of a situation in Cincinnati. And I keep telling them that is ludicrous. But I feel like I owe it to them to at least bring it up at the table.
To look for hope.
Well, here's what I would say to you right now. We have the New York Jets sitting here with 5 first-round draft picks the next 2 years, with the capability of doing whatever they want at the quarterback position. We have the Los Angeles Rams sitting here this offseason with 2 first-round draft picks. We have the Cleveland Browns sitting here this offseason with 2 first-round draft picks. We have maybe an extra quarterback in San Francisco. You're raising a question about Joe Burrow. There's questions in Arizona. We still are waiting for Trevor Lawrence to prove himself. This is a league that always has quarterback questions. This now, as much as ever, feels like an arms race with teams positioning themselves to make big moves for quarterbacks, whoever they are, whenever they are. We saw this week that anybody can be had. We saw that teams are willing to go nuts to get their guy. So why is it going to stop there? When it starts there, it's not going to stop. It's only going to increase. And there are some teams out there that have some major ammunition to go dangle to make things happen.
Not anybody can be.
That was beautiful.
Joe Burrow cannot. No way. Jets, try all you want.
I think it would be crazy for the Bengals to trade Joe Burrow.
Outrageous.
That being said, he's ended the last 3 seasons, they won't make the playoffs. He's ended 3 seasons on IR. If you're able to get a king's ransom, I could see it not being a 0%. I don't think it's smart. I was there when Carson Palmer.
Let me ask you a question. How do you think
we had Andy Dalton, and we flipped all these draft picks into what is probably the most successful stretch for Bengals franchise history from 2011 to 2016.
Go, Schefter, go.
We're just talking. How do you think Joe Burrow feels about the Bengals defense and the offensive line that's protected?
I'm going to ask you a question. If I were Joe Burrow, I would want out of Cincinnati.
You would?
Yes. If I were Joe Burrow, that doesn't mean Cincinnati would be obliging to that.
Hold on. That's where it gets interesting. Because if that's what he wants, and we have no idea what he wants, but if that's what he wants, it's over. It's over.
Wow.
And we have finally awakened our favorite, companion, Salty Schefter, has entered the conversation. And there's nothing we love more.
Yeah, any player,
I get your point. Yep.
Any player, when they're determined enough, if they want out, they're going to get out.
Micah. Yep.
As a Bengal, I'm very frightened right now about what you're saying to me.
And the sad part is, because of that, we're seeing these crazy delusional takes all over networks. I mean, it's getting to a point where it's getting a little crazy, but this is kind of how it works at this point. So, 5 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. Number one, I don't even think the Bengals would entertain that offer. If the Bengals ever even thought about trading Joe Burrow, who does have a no-trade clause at this point, they would want at least 10 first-round picks. And that's just kind of how it is. They're not going to accept 5 first-round picks. They would want 10. And even then, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for the Bengals' point of view. One, Joe Burrow puts people in seats, right? He puts people, he makes them go to the game because of how good he is. And also, he had been able to mask the issues and problems with Zach Taylor and Zach Taylor's whole entire system over the last 5 years. So, again, I don't even know why I'm entertaining this myself, but this is something that people now are talking about, and I just think it's idiotic, right? We're not going to trade Joe Burrow to the Jets. And if you're like, well, 5 first-round picks are really good, man. 5 first-round picks are really good. We got Duke Tobin and Katie Blackburn and Zach Taylor in the front office, okay? 5 first-round picks. And the claim is, well, we could use that on defense. Number one, if you trade away Joe Burrow, you're going to need a new quarterback, right? What quarterback are you going to go for? 2027 does have a very loaded quarterback class. But out of those 5 first-round picks from the Jets, if realistically speaking, the Jets do become a really great team with Joe Burrow, now all 5 of those first-round picks are pretty much second-round picks. You're picking outside the top 20. So you're not going to be able to get anyone who really is that good, right? Especially not a top 10 pick, and you're not going to be able to get a quarterback at that point. And if that's the case, then what are you, what are you getting at this point? Now, of course, a lot of those picks, those 5 first-round picks, aren't even the Jets. They're not the Jets picks because they just got 3 first-round picks from 2 of them from the Colts, 1 of them from the Cowboys. So now you're like, okay, well, we're not even getting 5 first-round picks from teams that are going to be top 10 picks or top 20 picks. So you're getting 5 second-round picks. Whoopie-doo. What are you going to rebuild with 5 second-round picks? Have we not seen the Bengals in their scouting department and how bad they are at, evaluating talent? And actually, I think it was like a couple years ago, there was a scouting expert that came out and said most teams only have 10 to 15 guys in any draft that they are actually valuing as first-round picks. So after those 15 guys go off the board, none of the other picks are considered first-round picks for them. So there's really no purpose, in all honesty, to even, outside of pick 15, to even be that crazy about the pick. Now, if you can guarantee the 5 first-round picks are all the number 1 overall pick, it's a completely different story. But even then, it's so hard to hit on successful players in the NFL draft. It's so hard to go into a draft and say, okay, we're guaranteed to come away with the best player in this draft. Even if you have the number 1 overall pick, Trent Richardson was the number 1 overall pick. Jadeveon Clowney was the number 1 overall pick. There's a lot of number 1 overall picks. RG3 was the number 1 overall pick. He might have been number 2 overall pick. Cam Newton was the number 1 overall pick. There's no sure about it. You hit gold, you hit a home run with a first overall pick. But you know who you do hit home runs with? Joe Burrow. You know who you are very successful with? Joe Burrow. These shows, they need a viral moment. They need a, got 'em, get 'em moment. A little funny because it says get up. And that's what they need. That's why they make stupid takes like this. Schefter just hates us. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, man. He just absolutely despises us. So he's going to say what he wants to say here just to try to chaos and stuff like that, Joe would never even want to go to the Jets. It's idiotic. And by the way, it's not 5 first-round picks this upcoming year. Little side note. It would be, and even then, I mean, we can't trade Joe because the trade deadline's already done with, right? So it would be next year, which, again, I guess it would be this offseason you would have to make the trade. And at that point, yeah, I guess you would get what? 3 first-round picks this year in the draft and 2 next year. Which, it's just such a stupid concept. I don't even see. This is why am I entertaining? I'm entertaining the stupidest thing of all time. This makes no sense at all. It doesn't even make logical sense. Because not only that, like, you know, look, again, like, I'm really deep. I'm digging deep here on how stupid this is. When you trade away a quarterback that you just recently signed, and we signed Joe a couple years ago, that's going to mess up your salary cap bad. Because there's so much dead money when you trade away a player who you signed for $275 million. There's so much dead money that you're going to have to move around, and it's going to be a mess to deal with as an organization. Outside of just that. This is why Sauce Gardner, who just got traded to the Colts, the craziest thing ever is the Jets literally just signed him to a massive $140 million deal and then traded him, which doesn't ever happen. You never see a player get signed to a deal and then get traded. That's the stupidest thing ever because, again, when you trade a player that quickly, it messes up with salary cap purpose. So, yeah. So, Schefter's an idiot. This would never happen. We would want 10 first-round picks, and it would not even happen. Like, what are we even saying anymore, bro? It is mid-season, and this is how, like, bad the NFL is at this point. That this is actually a story that people are talking about. And Rabbit Boy right here is procrastinating it. Is that a word? Procrastinating it? I think that's a word. All right, peace out.